Hello and welcome, or welcome back to all of you amazing artists out there. It's your art teacher, Mr. Guerra, and today we are going to be creating this easy to make chocolate bar squishy. And paired with this super stuffed squishy is powerful pack provider Buzu Trading Card number 96, Electrovendrix. Electrovendrix is no ordinary vending machine. It was mysteriously programmed to collect every Buzu booster pack in the BuzuVerse. Why? Well, to gain knowledge of every character's strengths and weaknesses. This makes him part of the knowledge classification. But since it's also a high-tech vending machine battle bot, it gets the technology classification as well. For this art project, you will need a sheet of copier paper, 8.5 by 11, a pencil, a permanent black marker, I'm using a Sharpie, markers, coloring pencils, scissors, clear packing tape, Scotch tape, and something to stuff inside our squishy. In this video, I'll be using cotton balls. You can find links to all of these art supplies in the description below. Let's begin making our squishy with a sheet of copier paper laid down in a horizontal orientation. Now let's fold our paper in half and do our best to make sure that when we roll the paper over, the corners touch before we press down to make the crease. Great! Our paper is folded like a little menu and needs to stay closed while we draw, so let's get out our pencils. Start by drawing a rectangle with the longer sides on the left and the right. And don't worry about it being perfect. Just do your best drawing without pressing down too hard. And since we are using pencils, you can always erase any mistakes you make. Our next step is going to be to draw a horizontal line just above the center. Not at the center, just a little above. Start with two vertical lines at the top of the rectangular line down to that just above the center line that you just drew. Then draw another horizontal line in the center to help this chocolate bar look like the kind you can conveniently break off one piece at a time. Making our way down the chocolate bar, let's draw the peeled down wrapping by sketching a stretched out M like a zigzag underneath where the chocolate is showing. Next, I'm going to draw the large and very cute circular eyes. Inside each one, you can see that I'm drawing two smaller circles for a little shine. One bigger and then one smaller. A small letter U between and just a pinch beneath the eyes for the mouth. And two little ovals underneath and to the outer sides of the eyes for tiny bits of blush. Nicely done. We're all set drawing the front side of our chocolate bar. Time to cut it out with our scissors. Now with the paper still folded shut, cut around the perimeter of the rectangle. Now let's recycle our scraps and separate your two identically shaped rectangles. If you place the blank rectangle, which will be the back of your chocolate squishy, next to the side that you just drew, you will easily be able to see which line to draw where. All you need is to start with the chocolate part using the same three lines you did on the front and the sketched out M zigzag line for the peeled wrapper. Now that you've got all of that drawn up, it's time for our first fun fact. Electrovendrix doesn't crave snacks, it craves packs. And its favorite surprise? Deck cards. They give it a serious edge in Buzu battle, but wait, it gets better. These magical little booster packs don't just stop at deck cards, oh no. You might also find artisan cards, baseline cards, custom cards, and of course, Buzu blank cards. And remember, in the BuzuVerse, knowledge is power. And this time, power comes in a foil wrapper. And speaking of foil wrap, Electrovendrix's first special ability is Pack Attack, where it flings furious foil packs, pelting opponents good. But don't worry, it picks up the packs after it wins. Getting back to it, it's now time to trace over our pencil lines with a black marker. But before we begin, it would be wise to slide some paper underneath, especially if you're using an oil-based permanent marker. These kinds of markers are known to bleed through paper, especially the copier paper that we're using. So protecting our surface is always going to be a good idea. With the steadiest hand that you can manage, start tracing on top of your pencil lines. You can also experiment with the line thickness, also known as the line's stroke. You can trace over your drawing using one line, or you can use two lines like you see me doing here. Go over each part carefully, and don't forget to fill in the eyes. Now check this out. It's a really good thing that we put down our mess mat to protect our surface because it bled through. Now let's continue on by tracing our pencil lines on the backside of our chocolate bar, making sure we add the same amount of thickness that we did on the front side. The tracing is done, and it's now time to bring out our brown, gray, and orange markers. We're going to use these to trace around and separate the three main sections of our squishy: the chocolate, the peeled wrapper, and the unpeeled wrapper. Try and use the thicker angle of your markers as you go. Start by outlining all of the chocolate segments with the brown marker, then move on to the gray marker for the peeled wrapper, and finally outline the lower part of the sealed wrapper with the color of your choice. As you can see here, I'm going with orange. If you prefer, you can fill everything in with the markers, or for that extra artistic touch, grab your coloring pencils and let's get started filling in the remaining spaces of both the front and the back of our chocolate bar. And here's just a special challenge. If you can manage it, as you're coloring in with your pencils, try going in the same direction. Don't go scribble-scrabbly, try in the same direction. This is just going to improve the way that this squishy looks when everything is all said and done. Take the time needed to apply your very best coloring craftsmanship. After all, you are coloring in pretty much a whole sheet of paper, which makes for a lot of space. And once it's all said and done, give your hands a break, relax, because it's time for our next fun fact. Want more than just your average booster pack? Join the Buzu crew at patreon.com/BuzuCards and unlock exclusive Buzu deck cards you won't find anywhere else. It's the ultimate upgrade for true collectors and battle strategists alike. The Buzu Vault is where discontinued, outdated, and ultra-rare cards are sealed away for safekeeping. It's a hidden stash of legendary treasures, unlocked only by select members of the Buzu crew. So once again, join the crew at patreon.com/BuzuCards for an opportunity to access what most Buzu battlers only dream of. Now, speaking of upgrades, Electrovendrix comes equipped with one of his signature items and his signature move, Booster Boots. And they're not just for show. These high-voltage rocket boots launch him into the air, where it lets loose a shockwave of electricity from above. Because nothing says surprise attack like a vending machine with lightning feet. With your candy bar now cut and colored, it is now time to get out the clear packing tape. Begin pulling out the tape and tearing it off in pieces about the length of your hand. Carefully lay each piece down one at a time onto the candy bar's front and back. And don't worry too much about the length of the tape. Is it too short? No problem. It's still covering up a section. Is it too long? Well, just take the extra part and wrap it around to the back side. Keep going until you have the front side completely covered, and then get started on the back. Once that's done, turn your attention onto the other rectangular sheet of paper and begin by covering up the front and the back of that side as well. And now's a great time for just a little bit of artist's advice. I suggest using a few extra pieces of the packaging tape onto the center areas to help strengthen your squishy once it's been stuffed and sealed. After all, it's a completely normal thing that you and everybody else who sees your squishy awesomeness is going to want to give it a little squeeze. Okay, now that we're done with that, it's time to get out the clear Scotch tape and use it to start taping both of these sides together. Hold them one on top of the other with some firmness, placing half a piece of Scotch tape on one side and then carefully folding the other half over onto the opposite side. Continue along this way until you've got 3 of the 4 sides of the chocolate bar sealed, leaving you with that 4th side open, which is where you're going to be stuffing the stuffing. But before we begin tackling that, let's take another quick break for another interesting fun fact. At the highest level of the Buzu crew, which is called the Buzu Beast Mode, you'll join the exclusive Collectors Club, where 3 brand new Buzu cards are mailed to your door every month. These include all new item cards from the BuzuVerse, delivered straight to the homes of true collectors. And now for the 3rd and final ability of Electrovendrix, Electro Startup. He blends into the battlefield by posing as an ordinary vending machine hiding in plain sight. With a sudden power surge, he springs to life, shocking nearby opponents in a perfectly timed sneak attack. It's time for the final and, in my opinion, most fun part of the whole project, and that's packing your chocolate bar with stuffing and officially turning it into a squishy.
Squishy, squishy, squishy.
As you can see, I'm placing cotton balls into the pocket we've made until it's just about full. You can then get your pencil back out again and use it to stuff the cotton balls deeper inside just to pack it all in. Now, of course, you don't have to use cotton balls for stuffing your squishy. You can use pretty much anything. Paper towel, tissues, crumpled up scrap paper, they all work just as well. After you've stuffed your squishy, make sure that there's still just a little bit of unfilled empty space towards the top so that you can seal your 4th and final side easily. Get out your Scotch tape and, using the same technique as before, tape your squishy closed. And sweet success!
I did it!
You just crafted your very own chocolate bar squishy. Packed, plushy, and totally delish looking. Give it a squeeze and feel how satisfying this snacktastic masterpiece is. Just like Buzu booster packs, this little guy is shiny, fun to play with, and stuffed with goodness. Well, that's one more card down and a whole BuzuVerse to go, so what are you waiting for? Draw another card and let's start our next artistic adventure together. Well, that's all I've got for now. I want to thank you for hanging in there, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Want to collect something that's shockingly amazing? Head on over to patreon.com/BuzuCards to download and print your character sheet for Electrovendrix. Link in the description below.